did submit new bids for Manuel Ugarte and Jarrad Branthwaite. Mason Greenwood on the brink of joining Marseille for £27 million. Manchester United also apparently interested in signing Ivan Toney with a shock decision to be made today. These are some of the topics we will be discussing on this morning's show. But before we get into that, please do me a small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 700 likes on this morning's show. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6 p.m. UK time. Only 50% of people who currently watch our shows are subscribed. So if you're one of those people who isn't subscribed, get involved. It's completely free content and it's the best way to keep up to date with all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Okay, so much to get into on the show this morning, so I'm going to jump straight on into it. And the first talking point is going to be on Matthijs de Ligt. We have some positive news to bring you this morning. In the last couple of days, obviously, we've heard that Matthijs de Ligt has agreed personal terms. We've heard that he only wants Manchester United. We've heard that he's spoken to Erik ten Hag multiple times. He's convinced of the project. He's desperate to come to Manchester United. We've also heard that apparently the Bayern Munich fans have made a petition, 60,000 names on the petition, saying that they don't want Matthijs de Ligt to be sold. But regardless of all of that, the news that I've got for you this morning is that Manchester United are now close to agreeing a £43 million deal for Matthijs de Ligt. Apparently, it will be £35 million up front, with a further £8 million in add-ons. Now, I want you to let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. £43 million for de Ligt. Are you happy with that deal? Do you think it's a good deal? You know, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Me personally, I think it's really, really good business. I do. I think if we can get Matthijs de Ligt back the way he was playing when he was at Ajax under Erik ten Hag, I think for £43 million, including add-ons, we've got ourselves an absolute bargain, to be completely honest with you. And what I want you all to remember is the Bayern Munich fans want de Ligt to stay, okay? They're not trying to get rid of him. They want him to stay at Bayern Munich. So for all the people who are saying, oh, you're buying a flop, it's rubbish. Why would the Bayern Munich fans make a petition that you can go and find yourself, type in de Ligt petition on Google and it will come up with over 60,000 signatures? I wonder, it might even have more than that now. Let's have a look. It was on 60,000 yesterday. Let's have a look what's on now. It's on 65,000 signatures now, this petition. It was only set up 3 days ago. Crazy, absolutely mad. So de Ligt to Manchester United will be announced, I imagine. I reckon it'll be announced after tomorrow. Obviously, Manchester United play their first pre-season game on Monday. But we're not going to have these players by then. Apparently, they're going to be given 2 weeks off until we fly to America for the pre-season tour. I think Manchester United play Arsenal first in the pre-season tour. So the information I was given was that, say the players exit the Euros this week, they'll get 2 weeks off and then they'll be expected on that flight to, I think it's New York, the first game. They play Arsenal on the 28th of July. So they've got a bit of time to have a little holiday, have a bit of relaxation. But hopefully England beat Netherlands tomorrow, and that will then mean that Matthijs de Ligt and Joshua Zirkzee can go and do their medicals, and then they'll be announced as Manchester United players. But £43 million is the total package, including add-ons. Wages believed to be about £200,000 a week, which is actually a £100,000 per week pay cut versus what he's on at Bayern Munich. He currently earns about 300k a week at Bayern Munich. At Manchester United, he's been offered 200k a week and he's accepted it. He wants to come. He's happy to accept less money. He knows that he's going to start every single game. Erik ten Hag has told de Ligt that they're going to build the team around Martinez and de Ligt. So I'm really excited about this transfer. I think it's a really, really sensible one. So yeah, I'm not massively worried about his injuries and stuff. I think we'll be okay, but obviously you never know in football. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Matthijs de Ligt to Manchester United, £43 million, including add-ons. Let me know what your thoughts are. And just a quick one, I can see people talking about Jean-Clair Todibo in the comment section. So there has been a fresh update on the Todibo situation. So let me just read that to you really, really quickly. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano this morning. Fabrizio is reporting that Jean-Clair Todibo is one of the names on Juventus's list for new centre-back this summer. He says that talks have now taken place between Juventus and Nice. He says that Nice already rejected €35 million from West Ham. Nice's price tag is higher. He goes on to say that Manchester United are 100% out of the race to sign Jean-Clair Todibo after deal was almost done, but then blocked by UEFA rules. So very, very disappointing this. As Fabrizio says, we were literally on the brink of agreeing a deal for Jean-Clair Todibo. He wanted to come to the club. He agreed personal terms. He didn't want to go anywhere else. Obviously, the fee was agreed, but then Nice blocked the transfer. So that's really, really disappointing, but it is what it is, isn't it? Like, the rules are the rules. We don't want to be a Man City where we're attempting to break rules. We're attempting to bend the rules. I would rather, run the club properly than potentially get ourselves in trouble further down the line by trying to break, UEFA rules. Like, it's not really worth it. Welcome to Chin Wendu, who's just joined the Daily Red Devil Members Club. Thank you very much for your support. I hope I've said your name correctly. If I haven't, please let me know and I will try and pronounce it again. But welcome regardless. I hope you're doing well, my friend. So yeah, Jean-Clair Todibo, 100% not coming. That's been confirmed. It looks like he's now going to either go to Juventus or West Ham. So that's a bit disappointing, but I'll be honest with you. If we end up with De Ligt and Jarrad Branthwaite, I'll be happy. We'll talk about Branthwaite in a minute. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below, though. Everyone who's just joined the video, if you could do me a small favour and smash a like, that would be really, really appreciated. We've got over 500 people watching live now. I've set a likes target of 700 for today's show. So if you have just joined, make sure you subscribe and like. We're only 10 subscribers away from 27k as well. So everyone who's watching live today who isn't subscribed, please go and hit the subscribe button. It's completely free content, doesn't cost you any money, so there's no reason not to get involved. Okay, let's crack on with the rest of the show, though. Let's move on to... I want to talk about Ivan Toney, actually, because this story is... I think it's going to surprise a lot of you. This is coming out from Laurie Whitwell this morning. So we all know who Laurie Whitwell is. Obviously reports for The Athletic, very reliable journalist. He exclusively covers Manchester United. He doesn't put out fake stories. He doesn't put out clickbait. He is reporting this morning, right? Brace yourselves for this. He says that Joshua Zirkzee's arrival at Manchester United doesn't rule out United going for another centre forward. Okay. He says the options at the moment are Ivan Toney and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He says, but major sales are required. He says for Toney, Manchester United believe they could get him for around £40 million. What does everybody think about that? I mean, I was not expecting to see that this morning. Let's do a little poll. Would you sign Ivan Toney for 40 million? I'll be completely honest, right? I actually think we do need 2 more strikers. I think Joshua Zirkzee and 1 more. Like, what happens if Zirkzee gets injured? Or Højlund gets injured, then we're back to having only 1 striker. If you look at Manchester United when we were at our very, very best, we always had like 3 strikers competing for that one position, didn't we? Remember Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, one of our, gave us one of our greatest moments in our history, winning us that Champions League. He was a bench warmer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We always had 3 strikers at Manchester United. So I would actually say that we need another striker more than we say need another right winger, to be honest. And that's why with the Michael Elise deal, there were some people getting really, really upset about it, saying, Ineos are a disgrace. Why did we not get Elise? And I was thinking, like, are you just saying words for the sake of it? Like, we didn't need Elise. We have Pellistri, Ahmad. We still have Sancho. We still have Anthony. Garnacho can play on the right. Rashford can play on the right. Bruno's played on the right before. We've got about 7 or 8 players who can play in the right wing position. And people were saying, like, oh, we need Elise. We must get him. When we've only got literally Rasmus Højlund as our only striker. So this story did catch me by surprise a little bit. And it'll be interesting to see whether we do go for one of these players. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be a terrible signing. I'm sorry. I don't think he's particularly good. I think he's average at best. I think Ivan Toney would be an interesting signing. For £40 million, I probably would do that deal if it was there for us to do. He's only got 1 year left of his contract at Brentford. He is going to leave Brentford this summer. Arsenal are interested. A couple of other clubs are interested. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to talk about Ivan Toney this morning. I thought it would be Zirkzee and that's it. But as I said, the ever reliable Laurie Whitwell is saying that apparently Manchester United internally are discussing Ivan Toney and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as well as bringing in Joshua Zirkzee. So we'll see what happens with that one. But we'll wait and see. I would like to see that happen, though. But yeah, get involved in the poll. Let me know if you would like to see Ivan Toney at Manchester United. Apparently he's available for £40 million. I think for that amount of money, it's a no-brainer, to be honest. He would give us that experience. He would be able to... I don't think he would want to play every single game. I think he'd want to play most games. Yeah, but we definitely do need 3 strikers, in my opinion. We'll wait and see what happens. Okay, let's move on to the next bit of news, though, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about Jarrad Branthwaite. So, for anybody who missed the video last night, Manchester United submitted a new bid for Jarrad Branthwaite. The first bid we submitted was 35 million plus 8 million in add-ons, total package of 43. That was rejected. Everton said, you're having a laugh. We want 70. Give us 70 or go away, right? Manchester United wait, I think, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then they offer another offer. Last night, it was about 10 p.m. this story broke from Fabrizio, a couple of other people. Manchester United, David Ornstein as well. So Manchester United have just offered £45 million up front for Jarrad Branthwaite, plus an additional £5 million in add-ons, taking the total package to £50 million. This has apparently been rejected by Everton. £50 million rejected. They're saying they think he should be 70, 80 million pounds. They're looking at the amount of money that we paid for Harry Maguire and saying that that should be the kind of base point of where the negotiations are. I don't understand that. Harry Maguire was we got completely ripped off for Harry Maguire. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what Everton are playing at here. But if you look at it from their perspective, they don't want to sell Jarrad Branthwaite, right? That's the reality of it. They don't want to sell Jarrad Branthwaite. They want 70, 80 million. Whether or not they will get that, I don't think so, to be honest. I think that's a ridiculous amount of money. Manchester United are apparently going to go in for a third and final bid, a best and final bid. Apparently somewhere around £55 million plus £5 million in add-ons. That's going to be the best and final bid, which will be 60 million total package. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think that's way too much. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. So just to recap, first bid was 43, second bid was 50, and apparently now they're going to submit a bid of 55 million plus 5 million in add-ons. That will be the best and final, so 60 million total package. I want you to let me know in the comment section, how much do you think Jarrad Branthwaite is worth? Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Should we do a poll on it in a minute? I'll set up a poll in a minute, but for now, get in the comment section. Let me know. We've got a super chat coming in from CBK. I hope you're doing well, mate. CBK says, if we did get Toney, would he fit our style of play? I think he would. I think Ivan Toney would do well at Manchester United. He's very, very hard working. But yeah, I personally would sign Ivan Toney if that's an option. If we could get Ivan Toney and Xerxes, 40 million for Toney and 34 million for Xerxes, that's a bargain. I'm sorry. What's that? 74 million combined. I would definitely do it. But yeah, thank you for your super chat, mate. Really, really appreciate that. Alex, who's been a member for 1 month, says Toney's good on paper, but his attitude worries me. I kind of know what you mean, but yeah, I don't know. I think I know what you mean. Like he isn't like have an elite winner's mentality, but he kind of gives off the impression that he has, won the Champions League and the World Cup. But I think that's good. I think it's good to be confident as a striker. Like you want confident strikers, and Ivan Toney is confident. So I definitely would sign Ivan Toney if it was an option. But the key thing for me is that I genuinely think we need Ivan Toney and Xerxes. I don't think Xerxes and Højlund on its own is enough. Like, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, right? But let's just imagine a hypothetical scenario here, right? If we sign Jarrad Branthwaite and De Ligt as our 2 new centre-backs, that would be amazing. I couldn't be happier with that. If we then went and signed Ugarte as the new CDM and maybe signed Amrabat as well, I would be very happy with that, right? If we were able to sign Xerxes and Toney as the 2 new strikers, I'm not going to... I don't want to say the words, but I think we have the pieces of the puzzle there for a title-winning side, genuinely. Imagine that team. If you had your strikers options as Højlund, Toney and Xerxes, you had in defence Martinez, De Ligt, Branthwaite, Willy Campoala, Luke Shaw as a kind of 5th choice option at left-sided centre-back and Johnny Evans. You had Bruno Fernandes, Kobe Mainoo, and Manuel Ugarte as your midfield. You had Garnacho and Ahmad, or Garnacho and Rashford. Like, on paper, I genuinely think that you could challenge for the title with if you had that team. Whether or not we do it, I don't know, but it would show a massive, level of commitment from Ineos if they managed to get those types of deals done this summer. Because if you compared it with the other teams, like, compare that attack with Arsenal's. Arsenal's attack is Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. Imagine if we had Højlund, Tony, and Xerxes. Like, that would be incredible. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We've got a super chat coming in from DJG. I hope you're doing well, mate. DJG says, missing out on a left back will cripple us again. I'm going to talk about the left back in a minute because there is a massive bit of breaking news about the left back. Let me just get that up for you now. Thank you for your super chat. Thank you for reminding me. So the news this morning is that Manchester United are set to submit a bid. Now, please forgive me. I'm going to try and pronounce this guy's name. If anybody's been watching the Euros, he's the left back who's been playing for Turkey at the Euros. He's been doing absolutely incredibly well. His name is Ferdi Kadioglu. I think I've said that quite well. I'm quite happy with my pronunciation. Usually it's quite bad, but Ferdi Kadioglu, Turkish left back, currently plays football for Fenerbahce, has looked like one of the most exciting names in the Turkish national team this Euros. Can play at left back, right back, and interestingly, he can play as a central midfielder as well, which is kind of ticking all the boxes, isn't it? You've got somebody who can play in both the right and left back position, but could also cover at centre back. And the interesting thing with this player, which I think is going to rustle a couple of feathers this morning, he was born in the Netherlands. He's not Dutch, he's Turkish. He was born in the Netherlands, and for most of his career, guess where he played? The Eredivisie. He moved to Fenerbahce a couple of years ago. So it would be another player that's effectively grown up in the Netherlands, come through, the Eredivisie. He actually did used to represent the Netherlands until under 21 level. So Erik ten Hag is slowly building the Dutch team. Very, very slowly. So it does look like a left back will be on the top of Manchester United's radar. He's 24 years of age. He's available for around 20 million euros. Wages obviously wouldn't be a problem. I assume his wages are probably next to nothing at Fenerbahce. Let's have a quick look for you. Yeah, he's currently on £40,000 a week, which I know for me or you is obviously a hell of a lot of money, but for a footballer, £40,000 is not very much. But yeah, let me know what you think about him. Who do you think should be the new left back at Manchester United? Everyone who's just joined the video, if you could do me a small favour and smash a like. I've set a likes target of 700 for today's video. We've got over 800 people watching right now, so if everybody who's watching hits the like button, we will hit that target. And for all of the new people, we are literally 2 subscribers away from 27k. Let's try and hit 27k by the end of today's show. We can easily do it. If everybody who's watching right now who isn't subscribed subscribes, we will hit that target and I will be a very happy man. So big ups to every single one of you. Okay, let's move on with the show though. Let's keep talking about football because that's what we're all here for, isn't it? So we've spoke about, obviously, Branthwaite. I want you to keep letting me know how much you think he's worth. Simon Stone from the BBC has said that Manchester United are likely to increase their offer, but effectively they're going to draw the line at some point because we can't just keep offering more and more money. So yeah, we'll wait and see what the end price is for Jarrad Branthwaite. I've said 40-50 million. We've already gone above that, so it's up to Ineos now, But we'll wait and see what the end price ends up being. But it has been confirmed that the bid for Branthwaite has been rejected, by the way. This has just been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. They're saying they want similar amounts of money to what Man City paid for Gvardiol, which was like 75-80 million pounds. Ridiculous. Okay, let's move on to Mason Greenwood though, shall we? Because there is a massive story to bring you on Greenwood. The headline this morning is that Mason Greenwood is now close to joining Marseille in a deal worth £27 million plus add-ons. He says that apparently he's been told that he has no future at Manchester United. He was told by United's football leadership team of Jason Wilcox and Dan Ashworth that there is no way back for Mason Greenwood. So, you know what? I think £27 million plus add-ons is actually all right. Apparently there's going to be a 50% sell-on clause. So if he goes to Marseille, does well, and they sell him for 80 million in the future, we'd get half of that money. I actually think that's a good bit of business. £27 million, that'll be all profit. That will really, really help us to go and spend more money this summer. I know some people in the fan base are going to say, oh, he's worth more. I actually think, all things considered, 27 million plus add-ons for Mason Greenwood is a very, very fair price, all things considered. But let me know what you think in the comment section. You know, is £27 million an acceptable price for Mason Greenwood? Do you think he should be worth more? Obviously, get all your comments in. I'm happy. I have no issue with it whatsoever. Yeah, I think it's good. Like, we did a video yesterday, and apparently I was being told it was going to be around 20 million. So, and I was happy with that. I don't know if happy is the right word. I think I was accepting of it, because it's all good and well us sat here saying, oh, we want 50 million. But if no one's going to pay 50 million, the alternative was we loan him out for another season. We probably pay most of his wages. And then next season, we're in the same situation again. You know, that's the reality of it. Whereas now we get 27 million cash. That goes into our financial fair play pot because it's 100% profit. He's only ever played for Man United. We've never paid a transfer fee for him. We clear his wages, which is about 75 grand a week. And then he goes to Marseille. Marseille hopefully turn him into the player that we all saw he was at Manchester United, right? And if they do, a bigger club will come knocking on the door and say, we want to buy him, and we'll get half the money. So I actually think it's win-win. I've got no issues with this deal whatsoever, but keep letting me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The fact of the matter is, he is not coming back. So we've just got to kind of get on with it. Max says, what about Brandon Williams? Brandon Williams is gone, mate. He's been released. He's not a Manchester United player anymore. Rightly so. I think Brandon Williams had a lot of problems off the pitch. I think, yeah, if you go and Google Brandon Williams, like, I think he's really struggled with things off the pitch. I'm not going to go into it because, you know, yeah, I don't want to speculate on things. So if you want to research Brandon Williams yourself, go and have a look. But Brandon Williams is not a Manchester United player anymore. He has been released. His contract expired, and Manchester United decided not to renew it. So Brandon Williams, not an option. He's gone. Okay, let's move on to Manuel Ugarte. So the news on Manuel Ugarte is this: that Manchester United have now submitted a new offer of £38 million plus add-ons for PSG's Manuel Ugarte. The story says that Luis Enrique will decide soon whether to let go of the midfielder or not. I mean, if we got Ugarte for £38 million, that would be an absolute bargain. I'm sorry. They paid 50 million for him last season. The Athletic have also spoken this morning. The Athletic are saying that Manchester United would like to strengthen in central midfield and are now looking into signing Manuel Ugarte. The Athletic are reporting that a loan option could also be considered with an obligation to buy. I mean, that would be the ideal situation, wouldn't it? Because if we manage to do that, it would mean that we don't have to fork out all of the money this window. We could get him on loan, have him here for a season, and then this time next year, we pay the fee for him. I think that's the best situation for everybody, because that will then allow us to spend money in other areas. It might allow us to go and get an Ivan Toney. It might allow us to do Branthwaite and De Ligt. So I hope that we can do this. Apparently PSG want 50 million, which is kind of fair. They paid 50 million for him 1 season ago, so I don't blame them. If I paid 50 million for something 1 year ago, you would want to recoup as much of the money as possible, wouldn't you? Like, it's pretty reasonable, and I don't, you know, I don't disagree with that. But the reality of the matter is this: Manuel Ugarte wants to leave PSG. Okay, PSG have got plenty of options in that position. PSG want to raise funds, so I think this deal will happen, being completely honest. But based on what this story says this morning, I think the most likely option at this stage will probably be we loan him for a year with maybe an obligation to buy for like 40, 50 million. That would make a lot of sense. Lots of people in the chat are spamming about Joshua Zirkzee, so let's talk about him really, really quickly. So in relation to Joshua Zirkzee, the latest from Fabrizio Romano is this. He says the here we go for Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United is imminent. He says it's coming and it could be in the next few hours. He says it's dropping any moment now. So I know people are frustrated. I know people are probably, you know, smashing their screens up saying, why isn't Zirkzee signed? What the hell's going on? Have we lost the deal? Just be patient. Zirkzee to Manchester United will happen. He wants Manchester United. AC Milan are 100% out of the race for him. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who is, I think, involved in the board of AC Milan now, was speaking about Xerxes last night. Zlatan was asked if AC Milan was still going for Joshua Xerxes, and he says, Joshua Xerxes is in the past for us. We already have a new striker in mind, but I'm not going to tell you the name. So we've just got to be patient. The here we go will come. Obviously, the Euros doesn't help our situation, you know, and I know I keep talking about this, but if the Netherlands had been knocked out of the Euros, Xerxes and De Ligt would be Manchester United players already. That's the fact of the matter. But because of the Euros, it slowed every single thing down. And I know that's frustrating. I know people want transfer deals, but it is what it is. And just to kind of put your minds at ease, right? Late last night, I was sat there thinking, and this is a bit of a different kind of conversation here, but I wanted to compare this transfer window with last transfer window, because every single time I do a video, people are like, Ineos aren't signing players. What's going on? Why haven't we got a here we go? So I went back yesterday effectively and I typed in, here we go, Rasmus Højlund, here we go, Onana. And I looked at all the dates of when the here we goes were, just to compare. So the here we go for Andre Onana was on the 16th of July. So next week. The here we go for Højlund was on, let me just get the date up for you. So 16th of July was Onana and the 29th of July was Rasmus Højlund. So at this point last summer, the only player we'd signed was Mason Mount. And I think most people didn't even want Mason Mount. So yeah, we've just got to be patient. It is just the way that football is. And I said this on the show yesterday. I'm actually glad that Manchester United are taking their time about things. I'm glad that they're doing their due diligence properly. I'm glad that they're not rushing into stuff. They're exploring their options. And the most important thing is that they're actually agreeing terms with the players before they're submitting these bids, because I'm still haunted by the summer of Frankie de Jong, where we spent all summer focusing on one player. Remember, John Murta and Richard Arnold were incapable of doing more than one deal at one time. They would always say to us, we focus on one deal. Once that deal's done, we'll do the next one, right? They spent all summer negotiating with Barcelona for Frankie de Jong. They finally get Barcelona to accept the bid, and then Frankie de Jong says, I don't want to cut him. And we've just wasted 3 months. And then the day before transfer deadline day, we get scared and we spend 70 million on Casemiro. Like, I'm glad that those things aren't happening anymore, you know? Big ups to everybody in the chat who's just joined. We've got over 900 people watching live now, which is absolutely incredible. If you haven't liked the video yet, guys, please go and do that. I would really, really appreciate it. It really helps to bring more people into the channel and will allow us to do bigger and better things in the future. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I've just dropped a link into the chat. We've just hit 27,000 subscribers, everyone. That is an amazing, amazing achievement. So big ups to every single one of you. Let's start moving forward to the next milestone. 30K is the next big milestone. But yeah, if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe. I'm live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6 p.m. UK time. And thank you so much for us to just hit 27K. Really, really appreciate that. Okay, so let's move on from that though. Let's talk a little bit about, so we've talked about De Ligt. Who else have we got planned for this morning? I'm going to read out a couple of your comments quickly. Let's see what people are saying in the chat quickly. Paul says, was Mason Mount the first signing last year? Yeah, Mason Mount was the first, then it was Onana, then it was Højlund. Those were our 3 big signings. Obviously, we signed like Binder and a couple of other people as well, but those were the main signings last summer, weren't they? Yeah, so, okay, cool. Where are we? Just having a look what's going on here. The thing when you're live is there's so much breaking news that happens in the morning that a lot of the time I'm sat here and stuff just starts popping up and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about next. Apparently, West Ham are set to submit a bid for Aaron Wan-Bissaka this week. Do you want Aaron Wan-Bissaka to stay at Manchester United? That was what I wanted to talk to you all about and get your opinions. Now, let's do a poll on this, shall we? The question will be simple. Should Manchester United sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Let's do this. Should United sell Wan-Bissaka? Get involved in the poll. Obviously, if you're watching the video back on repeat, you can let me know in the comment section. The question is simple. Should Manchester United sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka? If you think we should, I want you to let me know who we should replace him with. Let me know. So this is apparently West Ham are going to submit a bid for Wan-Bissaka. That's the headline this morning. We spoke about Wan-Bissaka a couple of weeks ago on the channel, didn't we? Saying that West Ham really wanted to sign him. I'm in a little bit of a hard place with Wan-Bissaka, to be honest. It all depends on how much money we're talking about here. If we got 30 million for Wan-Bissaka, I think you'd sell him, to be honest. If it was like 10 million, I don't think it's worth it. Obviously, we know that Galatasaray submitted a bid of around 10 million euros, which, let's be honest, is laughable. So, yeah, I'm a little bit stuck. I think Wan-Bissaka defensively is amazing. I think he's one of the best right-backs in the Premier League defensively. But I think going forward, he's quite limited. I think he's improved a little bit under Erik ten Hag going forward. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he suits an Erik ten Hag style team. And I think if he went to a West Ham or an Everton or someone towards the bottom half of the table, I think he'd do incredibly. I really, really do. It's the same with Maguire. Like, Maguire's not a bad footballer, but he's just not the footballer we need for a modern attacking style play. So for me personally, if we could get 30, 40 million for Wan-Bissaka, I would sell him in a heartbeat. If it's going to be like 10 million, I think no, I don't think that's worth it. But yeah, keep letting me know what you think in the comment section. Would you sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka this summer? Obviously, we've got Diogo Diallo as our first choice right back now. There's always the potential that we go in for Jeremy Frimpong, who's a very attacking right back or right wing back. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. The other option we have, which I think is something Manchester United are considering, is maybe we go to a back three. So we have 3 centre-backs and then a left wing-back and a right wing-back. Like, that's an option. And if we did do that, someone like Jeremy Frimpong would be perfect as a right wing-back. But I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens with that one. Keith says Wan-Bissaka has got better as time goes on. Yeah, I agree with you, to be fair. He has improved. But I still think Wan-Bissaka's game is pretty limited, especially in the offensive positions. I just don't think he offers us anything going forward. And Erik ten Hag's style of play is so focused on the wing-backs getting forward, the left-back and right-back getting forward, that when Wan-Bissaka doesn't do that, I think it does kind of mess us up a little bit. But yeah, I'm not desperate to sell him, but if a big offer came in, I probably would sell him. If that... Yeah, let me know what you think of my answer. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know, and obviously make sure you get involved in the poll for Wan-Bissaka. Okay, what have we got planned for now? Let's have a look at the comment section, see what people are saying this morning. Alex says 3-4-3 would be awesome, but is the squad ready for this? That's the problem, isn't it? I do think a formation change could benefit Manchester United. But yeah, it all depends, doesn't it? Whether Man United can get the players they need to play that formation. Lots of people are saying Frimpong is class. People are saying Frimpong is another Dutch player. I don't really understand this obsession where people are like, oh, I don't want to sign any more Dutch players. Like, if they're the best player available in that position, does it matter what it says on their passport? You know, I don't think so, but I get it. People think that Erik ten Hag is just picking all his friends because they're from the same country, but it's not like Jeremy Frimpong and Erik ten Hag are best friends, are they? The only thing they have in common is that they're both Dutch. You know, it's not like they hang around with each other and have dinner together each night. Like, I get why people are annoyed, because they think that Erik ten Hag is just bringing in like his friends or whatever, and you know, doing favors to his friends, but I don't think we can really say that with Jeremy Frimpong. Like, there'll be so many clubs that want to sign Jeremy Frimpong, you know? He will be in high demand. But yeah, so hopefully today we should get a here we go for Xerxes. We should get a here we go for Mason Greenwood. And I don't think we'll get the De Ligt here we go today, to be honest. I think that'll probably be in the next couple of days. Yeah, it's all just being held up by this England-Netherlands game tomorrow. And whether you support England or not, we all just need to hope that England beat the Netherlands tomorrow, because that will speed up things. Because, as we said before, there's probably going to be about a 2 or 3 week holiday for the players. So it will benefit Manchester United massively if the Netherlands get knocked out tomorrow, De Ligt and Xerxes go off on holiday, and then they come back in like 2 weeks. Whereas if not, I think the final of the Euros is on Sunday, isn't it? So that does kind of draw out the process, which yeah, is a little bit frustrating. Yeah. But overall, guys, like the mood is very, very positive at the moment. You know, bids for Ugarte, bids for Xerxes, bids for Branthwaite, bids for De Ligt. Like lots and lots of stuff is happening. I think all of the recruitment at the moment looks good. I think all of the amounts of money that we're being, you know, told that the deals are going to cost look good. And I have no complaints. I think the only thing that we really need to kind of focus on now is the outgoings, because Manchester United apparently want to remove a lot of players this summer. There was a story yesterday that said that apparently United want to get rid of Eriksen, Casemiro, Maguire. Apparently they're even interested in getting rid of McTominay as well, which I thought was, you know, sensible. And a couple of other players as well. So I think all of the players we're linked to sound great, but as I've said to you before, it's just as important what players leave the club as what players come in, because it's a domino effect. If Maguire leaves, we'll sign 2 centre-backs. If McTominay leaves, we'll sign a new better midfielder. I know this all sounds a little bit obvious, but we can't just expect to sign 10 players and not sell anyone, because you wouldn't even be able to register all the players. You know, you can only have a certain amount of people in your Premier League squad. So I think now that the outgoings should be at the forefront of Ineos's kind of focus, if that makes sense. But let me know what you guys think. Like, who should leave the club this summer? Let me know in the comment section, like what players should leave. I think we need to do a lot of sales this summer. Like really, really need to focus on that. There was one story I wanted to talk to you about. I did mention it on the show yesterday, but just before we end the video, apparently Manchester United have rejected a £30 million bid for Amad Diallo. What does everyone think of that? Apparently Manchester United see Amad Diallo as part of their core group for the future, which includes Rasmus Højlund, Kobe Mainoo, Garnacho. And I agree with that. I would be devastated if Amad Diallo left. I think he's done everything right to this point. He came to the club as a teenager. He went off on loan to Rangers, did okay. Went off on loan to Sunderland, won their player of the season. He hasn't complained. He's waited for his opportunity. He's been patient. And when he has been given his opportunity, he shined. Think of the goal against Liverpool that got us through the FA Cup. If Amad Diallo hadn't scored that goal, we wouldn't have got to the FA Cup final. As simple as that, you know? And lots of times when Amad Diallo came on, he proved his worth. Apparently Manchester United are trying to give him a new contract. He's got 1 year left of his current deal. So yeah, I would be pretty disappointed if Manchester United sold Amad Diallo. It doesn't look like they're going to, but we'll wait and see what happens with that one. I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. It's been a really, really great show this morning. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me. I will be back at 1:30 this afternoon. Please do me a favour and make sure you subscribe before you leave the show. We're only now 1 subscriber away from 27,100, so please go and subscribe. Let's hit that by the end of this video. Make sure to smash a like on your way out. This has been Daily Red Devil. I'll speak to you all at 1:30 UK time today. Bye for now.